All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you guys, and welcome back. Just a quick video. All right, if you are keeping up with the headlines overnight, of course, as you know, Iran did send over about 50 to 100 drone attacks, okay, into Israel. And before those drones actually reached Israel airspace, they were intercepted by U.S. forces and also, I believe, Jordanian forces, British forces, etc., which is good. All right. And in addition to that, Iran has issued a statement overnight that their attacks and their military operation has come to a conclusion. I'm just paraphrasing at this point, but they are still warning Israel not to attack or face grave consequences. But in addition to that, Israel says confrontation with Iran is not over. All right. Um, Overseas, the Tel Aviv market opened up did open up green, as you saw the news. So I do believe that if there's not any more developments tonight into pre-market Monday, I do believe the market should bounce. Now, we received all this rumors of war Friday morning during pre-market, and the market was roughly right around 517 to 518, which typically means that we can expect some type of gap up in the morning, maybe even gap down. I'm sorry, maybe gap up, come back to fill the gap and trap play, and right back to 517, 518. So I am expecting over the next couple of days that the markets could be nice and green. Now, as you know, that Friday didn't look good at all. We have a downside target of this week of 508 and also upside target of 516 to 518. So I'm going to revise my target back to 518 is going to be an upside target. And I do believe that 509 to 508 is in any type of move to fill gaps, etc., or test support on Monday at 508, 509 should be upheld, given that there's some sigh of relief in the markets following the news this weekend. So, as you know, we gave you guys a scenario on Friday afternoon, no U.S. troop involvement scenario. Of course, maybe the gap is down on Monday morning, all right, but eventually I do believe that any gap down should be viable. Now, if they gap this up, they could end up gapping this up to 515 to 512 to 515. This is the support area that we've seen over the last week or so hold at 512. All right. So at a minimum, I would say that the market could bounce up to 512, come back down to fill the gap after the bell rings, and then we should end up the day near the 513 or even more, actually 513 to 515 levels. So like I said, I'll take out this comment, not much more Israel news over the weekend since we've seen the majority of the news. And then now keep in mind also there's barely any data this coming week as well. So you could see some chop, but maybe the tech earnings will bring us right back into the 516 or 518 level. Keep in mind though, there is that left and right head and shoulder pattern developing. So just be aware of that at 516. So they may come back, they may hit 516, reject it, and then, but still, I would think go much higher. Now, my upside target is 518. However, there is a trend line here right about the 517 level. If that doesn't reject, I think that the market moves right back into the highs of PPI, which is about 519 or so. Any dips in the morning, I think, is viable, to be honest with you, for kind of a short squeeze, because the market lost about 1.5% on Friday. You could end up seeing a 1% update tomorrow, maybe even a move here in the morning, come back, all right, Tuesday, Wednesday, chop around this level. But eventually, I do think we're going to go higher. Another scenario is, of course, if the market is just absolutely sigh of relief, buying the dips for earnings, etc. Don't be so shocked. Monday, we just end up back at 516, like almost instantaneously. If the market does gap up too high, you got to wait for that gap down to fill before buying the dip. So as of right now, all right, I do feel pretty optimistic that at least we're going to see a minimum of 513, all right, to 515, maybe even test the 5100 SPX level or 5200 SPX level, which would be obviously very, very conviction type of buy situation. So as you know, SPX closed at 51.23, 515 would be 51.50 retest. All right. If that fails, then of course, but we got a lot of week ahead. Now, just be careful too, holding things overnight, because guess what? There could be more news developing. All right. So this video is being recorded at about 10 a.m. East Coast time. A lot of things can happen for the rest of the day. If there is more news, I'll keep you guys updated.